I originally wanted to call this a little chat, life lessons from pruning my tree, but then I was thinking that doesn't sound very catchy. I don't think I would click on that, so I changed it. And I want to share with you 4 things that can hinder us from living an abundant life. So Trent and I have been married almost 11 years, and when we first got married, I moved into the house that he had bought because it was just better for us, and it's the perfect place. But there were some trees outside that had been neglected, and I decided one day to do a little pruning on them. And Trent is the type of guy that he doesn't like pruning trees. I like pruning trees, trying different things. So I decided I was going to do that. So he came home from work and he was like, "Oh my goodness, you pruned some trees. You're going to kill the trees." So I said, "No, I didn't kill the trees. I just cut off some branches that needed to be cut off." So we carried on and I kept pruning the trees, and almost 11 years later, I haven't killed any of our trees. In fact, they're more flourishing, more fruitful than they were before. So I was pruning a tree this morning, and it really needed some pruning because it looked really sad. So I cut off quite a few branches, and some of the branches were very hard to cut off because they were bigger branches, but I knew the way they were growing, they weren't going to work. So I cut them off anyways. And it was so hard to cut some of them off, but I knew it was best for the tree if I went ahead and cut them off. So I got to thinking, okay, this can apply to my life. I always like to apply everyday things to life and how they can work for me. So I just got to thinking about things that I need to prune out of my life. Maybe things that are unhealthy for me, or I just need to get rid of them. And so I came up with four different things that we can prune from our lives that can help us live a more abundant life. And the first one is TV shows, music, movies. And so the story I have there for you is, years ago, there was a show that I loved. And it probably was not the best show in the world to be watching. It didn't really go with my ethics. There was a bit of cursing in it. And so, you know, the Lord has the Holy Spirit in our lives for those of us that are Christ followers. And so the Holy Spirit was just like, you need to delete that show from your DVR. It's not good for you. It doesn't lift you up when you watch it. Sure, it was entertaining. I loved it. It was funny. There was some great things in it. So after the Holy Spirit kept nudging me, I finally said, okay, I'm going to delete this from my DVR. And it was hard to delete from my DVR, I'm not going to lie. But I kid you not, I didn't miss it. 2 weeks later, I forgot about the show, and I obviously have never watched it again. But I'm so glad that I did that. I followed the Holy Spirit's leading and deleted that show. So maybe there's a show that you need to delete from your DVR. Maybe there's some music that you're listening to that doesn't lift you up or make you feel good after you watch it. I don't know what that looks like for you, but you do. Now, the second area that we can prune from our lives is social media. How many times have you gone onto your Facebook feed and you've seen this person that every time they post, it's like, wah, wah. I know there are a few people that I follow that are like that. We need to get rid of those people, not get rid of them totally in our lives, but we just unfollow them. You don't have to unfriend them. Maybe you need to unfriend them. I don't know. Unfollow them from your feed so you don't see that negativity in your life. That just drags you down and it weighs on you heavy. So maybe there's some people in social media that you need to unfollow. That could be celebrities that you need to unfollow because that's not a healthy thing for you to be looking at. Or maybe there's some celebrities that we compare ourselves to, or health and fitness people that we compare ourselves to. And every time you see their post, you think, I'm not good enough. What I'm doing is not good enough. And that's not what you need in your life. None of us need that. If you're comparing yourself to every post somebody posts, you need to unfollow or unfriend them because it's just not a healthy thing. So TV shows, music, social media is second. And then the next one I have for you is a busy calendar. How How many times have we looked at our calendars and thought, oh, I have so much to do, I don't have any free time? That's not the way the Lord wants us to live. He wants us to have abundant life, and having a calendar that is absolutely crazy with no downtime is not healthy for you. Maybe you need to look at your calendar and say, okay, I need to cut this out. Maybe you're in a season of your life where you can't volunteer as much as you want to because you're carrying your children around. I know people with teenagers have a lot on their plates, but maybe you can't volunteer somewhere, or maybe you can't attend events that you like to attend. I always try to remember that this is just a season of life that I'm in, as hard as it may be to have to say no. But having that downtime for yourself and for your family is much healthier for you than running around all craziness. I promise. Try it. So go look at your calendar and decide what you can let go of. And it might not be for forever. It might be for forever. Maybe the Lord doesn't, maybe something on your calendar isn't life-giving to you. You're just doing it because you feel like you need to. It's going to look different for all of us. So grab your calendar and check out what you need to let go of. And if you don't know what you need to say yes or no to, a great book is The Best Yes by Lisa Turkhurst. I read that book last year, and it was just life-giving to me. So check that book out. Now, the fourth one is probably not one you would expect me to say because it doesn't really go with the other three, but it is huge. Eating habits. I'll just say it, eating habits. And I'm the first to say that I have had to cut things out of my eating habits to make myself healthier. It is so important for us to take care of the bodies that the Lord has given us. And years ago, I was the person that would say, oh, I'm just going to live this one life. Might as well eat it up or whatever. And my family will say, yes, she used to say that. Now I don't say that anymore because my child has made me realize that I need to take care of myself so I can be the best mom for him. So I'm not asking you to go eat kale chips. Oh my goodness, no, I've never even had a kale chip myself. I'm asking you to make smart decisions for you and for your family. That looks different for everyone. Like I said, the first thing I would say is to cut out high fructose corn syrup from your diet. That could be huge. Maybe, I don't know, that looks so different for everybody. So there's so many recommendations I would have for you. So take a look at your cabinets, take a look at your eating habits, take a look at your receipts and where you're eating out at. There are healthier places you could choose from. So that's just a way for me to encourage you. And I wanted to share a verse with you. It's Hebrews 12:1, and my pastor, I think, read this yesterday, and he just reminded me of this verse. It says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles us, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us." There's no way, if we don't get rid of some of these things in our lives, just like the runner in this race, the runner of life, we're running a race of life. If we are bogged down with all these things, we can't run the most efficient race possible. So throw off these things. Just like the verse says, let us throw off everything that hinders us. What is hindering you in your day-to-day life, and that can bring you more abundant living? So that's what I want to share with you. And I hope that encourages you today. Maybe you only have one area that you need to make some changes in. Maybe you need to make changes for all four of them. Obviously, I've had to make changes in all four of them because it came to mind for me as I was cutting my tree outside and pruning it and making it healthier. So I hope you have a fabulous day. I will chat with you soon, friend. Take care.